everything stated in this video is my opinion and my opinion only. And just like everything else in these cases we discuss here on this channel, everything is alleged. Hi guys, happy Sunday. How is everyone doing today? I am still trying to get stuff out of my way. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys have already watched this one. There's still one more over on Connor's channel that we have to go over from Kyle Fry, who was friends with Ethan, like actually friends with Ethan. So we'll do that this week coming. But this one was out first. I want this coffee cup to spill. So we're going to do this one first. Now I did go in and I took out the pencil writing like I did the last one. I'm going to do that with Kyle's too. I did mention in last night's live that I was originally going to separate them because it's 2 different people, but that I felt like it was important to note that not only are they being interviewed in the same room, like he doesn't separate them at all until like one of them's done and then leaves, which doesn't count, but that he decides to interview the person who was not in Ethan's chapter first, which is interesting because at the end of listening to both of them, it sounds like the person who wasn't in Ethan's chapter had a closer connection than the guy who was, because the Trent guy that he talks to first was at Hunga Dunga and knew about the dance and Maisie and all that stuff. So I find it interesting the way this went, so I decided to just keep them together. I know a lot of people have questions about Kyle Fry. I haven't really dug into him a lot, so I don't really know what people's suspicions are with that. I just know that people have talked about him quite a bit. Yeah, a lot of you guys have seen it. A lot of you guys have seen it. I mean, my stuff is scheduled for like my work schedule. So I can take a look and see what time I have it for tomorrow, because I haven't checked it, and see if I can move it up. I just don't know if I can, but I will look at it and see. I will look at it and see. I'm going to watch it when I'm done with my stuff, because we are doing a Gypsy Rose live tonight. We're watching the second half of her interrogation. We watched the first part when she's like flirting with the guy and talking to him about like movie theaters and just running her mouth about shit she knows nothing about. She's insane. And then as soon as the police officer comes in and starts actually like interrogating her, that's where we cut it off. And then that's what we're starting with tonight. That's what we're starting with tonight. So I do plan on going over and watching, taking notes. I'll probably do a video about it if he says some different things. If he comes up with some information, if she pushes back and gets him to clarify what he's talking about with Xana and why he's deciding to use information that's no longer relevant because there's an amendment out there that we've already read. Like if that kind of stuff comes out, I'm not going to do a live about it. I'll just do like something short and post it like tomorrow morning, I guess. I'll just like pay attention to what I'm looking at tonight. I just don't know. It depends on how long it goes. But again, unless he says something different, we probably will not talk about it. But we will see. We will see. I still am not going to get my book until like the middle of the week. So I'm just not really quite sure. Let me actually look right now and see what time I have the members only live for tomorrow. Did I even schedule it yet? I thought I scheduled it. Let me look and see. So I reset my modem this morning and like everything is moving really slow. I think I'm going to have to do like another hard reset. No, I don't have it scheduled yet. Okay, so 3 o'clock is when I'm done with everything. Like the earliest I can really do it is like 4 p.m., 4:15-ish, because that lets me like get away from my computer for an hour before having to sit back down. Yeah, I can do like 4:15 for the members only live. I think that'll work. And I heard that there was an article that Turvey did back in like January, I think. I don't think we ever went over that, so that's what I was going to pull up and go over in the members only live, is the article from Turvey. If not, then it's going to be something about Turvey, because now I'm curious about him, and I really want to hear what he has to say about this stuff, especially since we again know that he was an expert on the case. Like his name's on stuff. His name is on stuff. And I know there's like an interview out there that I've seen people like post clips of. I don't know. I'm going to find something, but it'll probably be about Turvey. It'll probably be about Turvey that we go over. But I think 4:15 is probably a good time. I think 4:15 will work. I'll get that scheduled out today. Okay, let me get this. Oh, it's not what I want. Let me get this pulled up. And again, I edited out the pencil as much as possible. There might be like a few little bitty pieces where you still hear it because like the person stopped answering and then like 3 seconds go by and then they say something else. But all that long ass crazy stuff is definitely not in there. Definitely not in there. Okay, so let me share the screen. And I do have little things that will pop up on the screen to let you know like who is talking when, because again, they're not being separated. And I was also told like who was first and who was second. So I went ahead and just like circled their faces as they're speaking so that it's easier. Yeah, the pencil's crazy. That's why I put pencil free on the on the thumbnail. I need to go back and I guess I can't because we like talked over a lot of stuff. I just need to make sure that I do the pencil stuff from now on because a lot of pencil. Okay, you ready?
It is December 13th, 2022 at 11:53 a.m. This is Detective Sergeant Mike Van Leuven with the Idaho State Police. I'm here.
You'll also hear that they like edit out stuff
were both of you in Ethan's pledge class?
No, just me.
Just you. Which pledge class was that?
PC 21.
And what class were you in? So this is going to be a little disjointed just because I'm going to be asking you both the same questions, but you're going to have different answers. So I'll try to keep track of this. So let's start with you first. When did you first meet Ethan?
Rush this year. So what was that? Like mid-August.
And have you spent a lot of time with Ethan?
I spent like not as much as other people did, but I spent some time with him. Yes, I would say I was one of the closest ones in our PC with him, besides me in our PC.
How would you describe him as a person?
Energetic, fun, always happy.
What about conflicts? Do you ever get in conflicts with people or fights or anything like that?
Never. If it was over like Venmo money just for him, like not paying after a meal or something.
Venmo money like for a meal or something. Okay.
Did you know much about his family?
See, look, it's gotten so much worse. So much worse since they started giving the attorneys of the families access to what they've already redacted and allowed them to make suggestions on what else should also be redacted. There is no reason for full-on paragraphs about Jim and Stacy to be redacted out of these. They don't want you to know that they take care of their kids, that they give them money to help them survive in college. They don't want you to know anything about anything. They have literally had the attorneys tell MPD, remove it all. That's insane to me. It's just regular schmegular shit that we already know. The lake house, where they live, what they do, like, unless there's really something that we don't know. Because remember, in the damn book, and Stacy interviewed with Patterson, they helped him write that piece of crap, okay? It talks about how they went to the frat and had an entire freaking lockdown. The boys put their phones down. Nobody left till the next morning. Jim and Stacy, and of course, most likely Hunter Chapin. Probably Maisie too, because Stacy was there. But this is described as a situation where they went in there and locked the whole damn place down overnight, like a lock-in. They literally said they took people's phones and didn't let anyone leave until the next day. How is that not sketchy as shit? What do you need to take the phones for? What kind of discussions are being had where people's electronics needed to be taken from them and they weren't allowed to leave until the sun came up? Like, that's insane. And then the massive amount of redactions with simple shit, simple stuff that's already public. They've come out and put their faces in the media themselves 1.5 million times. They go to CrimeCon. She writes books. They talk to all these people. They talk to the news. They do all these interviews. Damn, she even went and talked to freaking Jacob from Twilight. Remember that interview? But they're gonna make their attorneys tell MPD everything, remove everything. We don't want them to know anything about us. Blank it all out. That's crazy. That is super crazy.
Like not paying after a meal or something.
Did you know much about his family?
See, just completely empty.
And that's all I knew of him. So I barely talked to him. So
Did he talk about his past at all with you?
No.
Growing up or going to high school or anything?
not really, no.
Who would you say is his best friend? How would you characterize?
Like, I almost feel like they're getting so sloppy with the redactions because you saw how they just cut that off before the question was even done. Like, they're just like redacting all kinds of shit.
High school or anything?
Not really, no.
Who would you say is his best friend? How would you characterize his relationship with Xana?
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
Did they seem pretty close?
Oh, yeah.
Was there any other guys that were interested in Xana, or maybe Xana dated before Ethan?
Not that I know of.
But there were. Amber Vance talks about a lot of that in her most recent video of their timeline. That's why, again, I felt like it was strange they were making a big deal about Ethan and Xana like actually becoming an official couple. Like, she really never was with a guy before that. And it's pretty obvious that she was, which isn't a big deal, literally at all. It doesn't matter. That's so freaking normal for literally everybody. I mean, who gives a shit? But it was just the emphasis that they put on it was just unnecessary, I guess. And I just don't really quite understand what the point was for that.
Was there any other guys that were interested in Xana, or maybe Xana dated before Ethan?
Not that I know of.
I just saw these. Thank you for joining Critically Curious and Polar Life Force. Thank you for joining. We do have our members only live tomorrow.
Was Ethan in school as a student?
This year, way better than he was last year. Mm-hmm. He buckled down this year.
He was out of house because he was on academic probation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he would have been back in the house.
Remember, we knew
What
that.
was he studying?
We heard that during, I think it was like the 1 year memorial thing that they had. So one of the guys had said that he had just had a discussion with Ethan about how he was going to be moving back into the house in less than a month. So as soon as Christmas break and stuff was over, he would have been starting the fresh semester living back at the frat house.
I think it was sports management, wasn't it? Some sports.
That was like tourism.
Could be, yeah. Tourism.
Did they ever talk about having any problems?
Okay, y'all heard that? So as far as I understood, it was sports stuff. But then the other guy said something about tourism. Do we know if Ethan was taking any tourism classes at all? No, not with the way that I do it. I don't have the access for closed captions on these. I'm not playing it from somebody's YouTube video. And I've tried with my editor that I use to make it have captions on there, but it gets so many words wrong and misspells so many names. I consciously cannot leave it. I consciously cannot leave it on there. But I don't remember anything about tourism. I could have like maybe missed it, but I could have sworn that it was more for sports.
You're way better than he was last year. He buckled down this year.
He was out of house because he was on academic probation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he would have been back in house.
What was he studying?
Oh my God, you know, that's actually an interesting thought. Do you think that they cut his legs because he put his legs on that mother? Yeah, you know, that's actually like interesting because it just happened. Like it either just happened. I'm actually kind of confused still about when that situation happened because some of them are saying something about like in the beginning, like the parents' weekend prior, but then sometimes in the interviews, it sounds like it happened the parents' weekend before. But we also know that like he was with his parents a lot that weekend. So I'm really kind of confused on which one it was. If it was like the year before to get some sort of revenge that long later wouldn't really make a lot of sense. But if it was the weekend before, it would make a lot of sense. Yeah, there's interviews from the Sigma Chi guys where we learned that Ethan apparently is in a photo. And there's one of the guys' moms is like laying on a couch. This came from the interviews. This is not people making stuff up out here on these YouTube streets. This stuff came from the interviews. Y'all, if you haven't listened to them, we've done the reviews on all of these. We only have one that we haven't done yet, so we're almost caught up. But this is stuff that's come out in these interviews. That there was one of the moms on one of the weekends, it sounded like parents' weekend, was laying on the couch. And in the photo, Ethan has his leg propped up next to her and it just looks gross. Like, I'm guessing maybe like leg up peeing position. It's the only thing that I could really think of in my mind when it was being described. And it's being talked about by several of the frat guys in the interviews. And apparently this photo was taken of Ethan in this position, like with this lady that's laying on this couch. And the photo went around and got to the son. And apparently there was like some sort of argument that took place between the two of them, but everyone who talked about it downplayed how severe it was. I don't really feel like a son who like sees somebody in his frat doing that to his mom would just like yell at him or be like, "Hey man, don't ever do that again." Like I feel like he'd probably run up at him and probably punch him straight in the face. You know, would probably be the actual appropriate reaction to that situation. So I'm just not really quite sure. I need to go back and re-listen to the timeline because in some of them, it makes it sound like it was the parents' weekend, like the year prior. But then some of them make it sound like it was literally just the weekend before this crazy shit happened. So I'm confused on that part, but that's definitely what was said by several of them. More than at least like maybe 3 or 4 of the interviews that we've listened to so far mentioned it. The mom was laying on apparently like with her eyes closed. She was asleep, like on a couch. She was apparently just laying there. But apparently the photo got passed around and it eventually got to the son and there was a fight. There was an argument. So that's a good point. Because I really didn't think about that before. But I guess that's something to consider now because now we've heard that story from people that were there and saw it happen and saw the picture and lived there and was there during the situation. So yeah, good point.
Wasn't it some sports?
That was like tourism.
Could be, yeah. Tourism.
Did they ever talk about having any problems with anybody in any of his classes or
I think
Never.
problems with professors
sort of like
or
that.
anything?
No.
Now, his was also a member here. Were you friends with him too?
I was, yes.
Same kind of background questions with him. Ever talk about their background or
Not really.
growing up or anything?
Nothing.
Huh? Why are people arguing about captions? I never have captions unless I'm playing it from a channel, and y'all know that I don't play it from a channel. I have to do what I need to do in order to be able to play it without problems. And I'm not going to put a bunch of misspellings up on the screen.
How about money? Did you ever see him having problems with money or buying things that you wondered where the money came from or anything like that?
No.
What were some of his hobbies? that he liked to do apart from school and Xana?
Sports, he liked intramurals.
What sports did he play?
He played volleyball.
What about anything else besides volleyball?
I played basketball last year.
I think he played basketball last year, but not this year.
On an intramural team? Where did he primarily spend time, in your knowledge?
Here at Sigma Chi, he was always in Kyle's room. And then
Kyle's
if he
room?
wasn't in Kyle's room, he was at
Was that Kyle's room? Always in Kyle's room?
volleyball.
What about anything else besides volleyball?
I played basketball last year.
I think he played
I mean, I understand that, Lenny, but you're in here throwing like a fit and getting mad because I won't put misspellings up on the screen. Like, I'm sorry that I won't put incorrect information on there so that you can read false info or get something not heard correctly. I don't do that kind of stuff. It's no reason to like be upset. These interviews are over on Connor's channel and you can listen to it straight away with captions without me stopping to talk. Feel free to do that so that you can go and soak up the information. But there's like no reason to like be yelling and be upset. I'm just wondering why y'all are arguing about it. Because it's really nothing to argue about. Okay, well, you can take your attitude the hell up out of here, that's for sure. And goodbye.
basketball last year, but not this year.
On an intramural team? Where did he
Entitlement is
primarily
wild.
spend time, in your knowledge?
Here at Sigma Chi, he was always in Kyle's room. And then if he wasn't in Kyle's room, he was at Xana's.
Did he have a job?
He did not. During school, he didn't right now, but
Did you ever see him with any weapons?
never.
Was he particularly religious? Did he attend church services? or anything?
Wow.
I don't know.
Crazy.
Do you know
Probably.
if he spoke frequently with his parents?
Yeah, isn't that crazy? So because I won't put misspellings up on the screen, I don't give a shit. Like, ma'am, your mentality and entitlement level is like hella wild. Okay. That is insane to think that I don't give a shit about the fact that you can barely hear it because I won't put misspelled words and incorrect captions on the screen. Take several seats and this conversation's over.
Did he talk about what he was going to do after school was over?
Not with me, no.
Did you get the feeling that he and Xana were going to get married?
I did get the feeling to it. I thought they were pretty good together.
Were you here
Delivery lady must
that
be
night
here. The
before
dogs are
at the
tripping.
party that was here?
Yes.
Did anything happen at the party that you remember
It
that was
sure is.
Not
anything unusual? Any
I'm
conflicts,
gonna
any
mute my
arguments, anybody
microphone
yelling
because
at
y'all can probably
anybody?
hear my dogs.
No, I never saw any of that. I thought it went great. I mean, but
Where were you during the party?
I was on the DJ booth right here.
And do you remember where Ethan was during the party?
I saw him on the stage once, but that was it. And then I talked to him there and then never saw him again after that.
Okay, so do you have any idea what time he left the party here?
Somewhere, what time you weren't there, were you? I don't, probably like around 1 maybe, 12:31.
Was it a themed party?
Was EXPN that night, so yeah, it was sports themed. Everybody was wearing jerseys and stuff.
He'd come from a formal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was his had invited him to go. Is that right?
Yeah.
Where was that at? What house was that at?
Theta. I was also with him there.
You were.
Mm-hmm.
See? So he's not in the same chapter as Ethan, but he was at the Hunga Dunga dance.
Was EXPN that night, so yeah, it was sports themed. Everybody was wearing jerseys and stuff.
He'd come from a formal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was his had invited him to go. Is that right?
Yeah.
Where was that at? What house was that at?
Theta. I was also with him there.
You were.
Mm-hmm.
So did he take Xana?
No, he took, I think, his, I believe.
Was that weird for him to go to a Theta formal with
No, they were very
Xana?
No, because Xana was a G5, so she wasn't.
Okay. So again, did anything weird happen at that party? Any conflicts? Anybody
Never saw anything, no conflicts, nothing,
anybody out of place?
no one out of place.
See, I really wonder about the Hunga Dunga party too, though, because Maisie was upset about something. And I don't know if we ever figured out what Maisie was upset about, but it wasn't just like she just wanted to be at her house or like in her room and not go to the party. Like apparently she was genuinely upset about something, and that's why Ethan kept checking on her all night. So I always kind of wondered like if something did maybe happen at Hunga Dunga, because they did only stay for an hour and then she was super upset the rest of the night. Well, I don't know if we got any info on that. I don't think we did.
Anybody here at the party out of place?
Not that I saw, no.
When did you hear that something bad had happened over there?
The next day at around 11.
Who told you?
Told me.
Now I know that he's saying around 11, and that's really sketchy, and I understand that, but he also could just like not really have it in his brain. But we also know that there's a lot of rumors about things and people knowing things before a lot of things. And we also know now that in the most innocent of senses, please, Dylan went up 2 flights of stairs at 11 o'clock in the morning. So if he's saying that he's finding out around 11 o'clock and they started getting all these messages, I would really love to see these messages. And if they can't produce them, which it sounds like they probably can't produce the full message, I would love to see the timestamps. There's no way that the Snapchat servers don't have like at least timestamps for whenever these things were going out.
Never saw anything, no conflicts, nothing.
Anybody out of place?
No one out of place.
Anybody here at the party out of place?
Not that I saw, no.
When did you hear that something bad had happened over there?
The next day at around 11.
Who told you?
Told me. They were texting in our group chat and said that there was an unresponsive person that was found last night.
Okay. And when did you find out that Ethan was one of the victims?
Around 11:30, I think, because I called you after that, and then he told me that he was unresponsive and dead.
What was your first reaction when you heard that?
Shock. I was just like, I couldn't believe it.
Did you guess that foul play was involved, or did you think that it might be just an accident or something?
Maybe like drinking. I thought maybe drinking,
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I thought. I didn't hear.
When you heard it was a homicide, it was a stabbing, and that all four of them they killed.
Did he already say that he like thought that they left the party like around midnight or 1? Did he say that part already? I don't know if he says it or if the other guy says it, because I was just calling Slade. I needed him to get the stuff in. But one of them says like 12:30 or 1 is when he thought that Ethan left the party, which I found like really early compared to what we've been told.
First reaction when you heard that?
Shock. I was just like, I couldn't believe it.
Did you guess that foul play was involved, or did you think that it might be just an accident or something?
Maybe like drinking. I thought maybe drinking,
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I thought.
And she said that it was unusual because they don't tell each other that they love each other. Ethan sent it to Maisie. He was trying to get her to come out with them because she was upset and staying at her sorority house, and he kept wanting her to come out and she just didn't want to. And she said that it was really odd that he said that he loved her because they don't say that to each other. So it really stuck with her, which is interesting and can't be something that's like tossed off to the side when it comes to maybe intuitions or something like that, because they're triplets. They're connected to each other in ways that we will never understand. Unless you're a triplet. Unless you were born like that with a twin or a triplet or a quadruplet or however it works, we're never going to understand the way that they're connected. So for her to say that it's weird and that it stuck out to her, we have to listen to that. I don't know what it means, but we have to listen to it.
When you heard it was a homicide, it was a stabbing, and that all four of them they killed, what did you think?
I was in shock. I was like, I had no idea what to think.
Because he just didn't put it all in there. Somebody, and I didn't see the full comment, it kind of like went through yesterday. And again, I don't have the book in front of me. Somebody said something about how that timeline that's showing up as chapter 9 isn't something that he put together. It's something that was put together by some law enforcement agency. I don't know which one. I don't know. I don't know what the context of that is. I just know that it's very out of order, that there's no 2400 in military time. It starts over at 0 and it's off and out of chronological order. And if it is from MPD, well, then sure the hell makes some sense, doesn't it? That it's all everywhere and wrong. Makes sense. Makes complete sense.
When you heard it was a homicide, it was a stabbing, and that all four of them they killed, what did you think?
I was in shock. I was like, I had no idea what to think. I couldn't even believe it.
Do you suspect anyone or have any ideas about who might have wanted to do this or why?
No, absolutely not.
Did you know
Maisie said
Maddie
it.
and Kaylee?
What do you mean? Maisie said it herself out of her own mouth. So I bet if we saw text, we wouldn't see it because Maisie said it herself. It wasn't a rumor being started. It's what I just said. It wasn't a rumor being started by somebody. This came out of his sister's mouth on the Amazon Prime documentary that they all did together. She said it herself.
I'd been around it, but I wouldn't say I knew him.
Did they ever come here to parties?
Yes, I think they did.
You think they did?
Yeah, I never saw them here now.
How did you know Maddie and Kaylee?
They were roommates with Xana, and
So he says he thinks that that Maddie and Kaylee went there to party sometimes, but he's never seen them there. So I guess he's just heard about it. It has been a month. Remember, these were taking place at the Sigma Chi house on 12/13/22. So an entire month after the murders took place. So by now, a lot of people have already, the game of telephone is telephoning.
I've been over to Xana's, and I've seen them there before.
How many times have you gone over there and hung out at that house?
3. Or I went over and hung out twice, and then the other time I was grabbing a speaker.
And who were the people that were normally there?
Xana and Ethan usually.
But did you ever go over there when there was like a group of people, like a party?
Me, Ethan, Xana, and Kyle were over there with
Kyle?
a group of, I don't know the other 2 girls that were there. They weren't the roommates.
Were there other guys there, like delts or?
I've seen delts there before at parties, and I've seen betas there before.
So did you ever witness anything, any altercation or incident over at that house? Any fights between people?
Never.
Or
Well, he was at the party.
Girls being mad at somebody
I'll have
else?
to go back and check.
Nothing out of the ordinary at all.
Did you ever hear about any of the girls, complaining about a stalker or somebody that
And
they
the
didn't
Alexa
trust or
in the bathroom.
they didn't want to be around or anything like that?
Nothing.
Oh. Have there been any unusual
Or I think it was in
incidents
Maddie's room,
apart
but then
from
we
this
also
that
see
have
it in
just
the
happened in
bathroom.
the general area in the last year that you can think of that were like, a robbery or a prowler or somebody's car getting broken into or anything like that?
Nothing.
Okay. Circle back to Ethan. Is there anything unusual about his past that has happened to him or that he's
Isn't that weird?
accomplished
It's very
that's out of the
strange.
ordinary that you can think of?
Well,
Soul
just
ties.
the biggest thing was like him being last year like deficient, and then now he's just like he was academically well. Like
Now, remember, part of the rumor about why the guy that was, and I don't want to just like say the names because we haven't even seen these damn idiots' interviews, which really makes me mad. The 4chan thing, Loach and Dirty South or whatever, the Barriocha, the Davids, the dumbasses, basically, whatever. Part of that rumor on top of like the girl issue, which again was talked about by that one chick from 1119 about how it was like ego on ego, but it was just like a tiff, whatever you want to call it. Part of that was also about Ethan's academics. That apparently the same person that had these issues with Ethan was also the one that was assigned to him when he was failing. And that he was like pissed off because now that Xana was apparently helping Ethan with his studies, he had gotten off of his academic probation basically and succeeded and was going to be able to move back into the frat. So I always found that they kind of mixed Xana and academics and what was going on, because that's a lot. And I had said back then when we were like learning about all of that stuff that it's interesting because that's like a lot of anger on one person, because now it's not just like your love life, it's also putting like a stain on your own like academic record, because people are like, well, you suck at tutoring because he failed under you, and then here he gets with his chick and all of a sudden he's flourishing and he's got his grades up. I mean, that's kind of like a double stab at this guy. And then the Erika messages about you're getting cheated on are just another wrench, another monkey wrench. So much about this case. It's actually crazy. Thank you for the 5 gifted memberships, Friendly Girl 37. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Started figuring his classes out, was doing better in his classes, was going to be back in house.
Okay, but as far as some past car accident where he was the driver and maybe hurt somebody or something?
Nothing.
Okay, how about drug use? And again, let me preface this with both of you by saying we don't care about that. So we're just trying to see if he had a connection to another group that may have been responsible for this. So I understand that he used Adderall from time to time, that he vaped, and that there was some cocaine use that was happening over there too.
Well, I will also say I've gotten 2 emails recently that says they might have actually found who Erika might be. I've only opened one of them. Let me go see what the other one looks like real quick. I don't want to show the photos in case it's not the right person, but somebody sent me a picture of a girl named Erika with Kaylee, like on a boat. They're taking a picture together. I think it's on a boat. Is it a boat? It looks like a yacht. It looks like a party boat. Like in the back, it looks like it's got the column where the steering wheel is, and everyone is in like bikinis and sun hats and stuff like that. And apparently the girl in this photo is a girl named Erika. And then I was sent another one. Let's see if it's the same picture. Okay, and then I was also sent a picture. Somebody posted it on, I guess, their I mean, I can't tell what channel this is. Maybe it's Bubbly's channel, because the Cash App at the bottom starts BUBB, so that I guess it's Bubbly's. There's a girl that she has from an Instagram post from Zoe named Erika that's tagged, and she's got blonde hair in one photo, but then in the other one she's got brownish hair, but it's spelt the same. It's Erika with a K. So I don't know. It's also just interesting that he said that it didn't matter. It didn't matter. That we would never be able to find her. And then when he was asked why he even put it in there, he said, oh, I debated and I felt like really bad. No, you didn't. You Jerry Springer loser. No, you didn't. You knew exactly what you were doing.
Familiar with any of that?
I was familiar with the Adderall, but
yeah.
Not the cocaine or, yeah.
Okay. So do you know where he got his Adderall from?
I do not.
Okay. Anything drug related to that house that you can think of that we should know?
Nothing. I wouldn't know anything.
I think that's about all I have for you.
Perfect.
So
Sorry,
I'm basically going to go through the same thing with you. So, thanks a lot for meeting me and appreciate it. Yeah, have a nice day.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. So, when did you first meet Ethan?
Midday last year.
Where are you from?
And
Do you know the?
I do, yes.
So the girls.
Yep.
Their dad is.
Yeah.
In the house.
I work with.
It must be someone that he knows. I can't figure out what names he's trying to say, but it sounds like he knows a father of 2 girls, and he says something about the house. So I don't know if that means like the 1122 King Road house or what else they're talking about, but it seems like they have a mutual connection here.
Summers too. They came up and we watched the game together last Friday. Yeah.
In college, he went by Joe.
Huh?
In college, he went by Joe.
He did?
Yeah, from Joe.
His son is.
So there's 2 girls and a son that's in the frat, or at least there's girls and then a son that's in the frat that goes by the same nickname that the dad used to go by when he was in the frat. That's what it sounds like.
So, when did you first meet Ethan?
Midday last year.
Where are you from?
And
Do you know the?
I do, yes.
So
me
the
too.
girls.
Yep.
I'm really wondering.
Their dad is.
Yeah.
In the house.
I work with Jeff during the summers too. They came up and we watched the game together last Friday.
Yeah, but the problem that we have with his timeline is that he's using like the 2400 hour, and that's not normal. Like, I know that it can be used, but it's not normal for it to be used. And when we're trying to really figure out a timeline and stuff's actually out of chronological order, like I actually went in and found, I think, like 3 or 4 different spots where he had pieces, or whoever made it had pieces that were literally out of order, and I had to like use arrows to drag them up like 2 pages or a whole page where they actually went and insert them with the arrows where they actually were supposed to go, because it's literally out of chronological order for some reason. I don't know why it wasn't corrected before it was printed, unless it's like in its natural form and it didn't want to be messed up. I don't know what the deal is. Again, we'll see in a few days.
Yeah.
In college, he went by Jim.
Huh?
In college, he went by Jim.
He did?
Yeah, by Jim.
His son is Jim.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So what did you think of Ethan when you met him?
He was just, he liked to have a lot of fun. I mean, but that was like all of us last year. Yeah, he liked to have a lot of fun. That was really all I could tell.
Did he ever have conflicts with other people that you saw?
No. I mean, little just stuff around the house, but nothing major.
So did he ever talk to you about growing up or his past?
No.
Who would you say his best friend was?
Probably
His brother, I think he said. Did he just say it? Probably his brother?
So did he ever talk to you about growing up or his past?
No.
Who would you say his best friend was?
Probably his brother.
And
I
besides
imagine they were pretty close.
Did you know Xana?
I spoke to her one time.
Do you know if she had dated anybody before?
I have no idea.
Were you around them enough to characterize their relationship or not really?
I was not, no.
How would you characterize him as a student?
Getting better. I mean, a lot of people started their freshman year, but it seemed like he really cared more this year, I guess. And he was really, he was going to be back in the house and after winter break. So yeah, he was doing a lot better.
He was going to go back to the house.
Do you know what he planned to do after he graduated?
I have no idea.
Did you know if he had problems with anybody else on campus?
No.
Either in the house or out of the house, or any of his classmates, or nothing?
Nothing.
What do you say his hobbies were?
Pretty much just intramurals and video games, and yeah.
Did he play video games with anybody online?
Yeah.
That wasn't in here, that was away from here?
I don't know about away from here, but I know he just played like play with those guys most of the time.
Just in house?
Yeah.
Ever see him have any issues with money?
No.
Ever see him buy anything that was expensive and wonder where the money came from?
Nope.
And where did he spend his time?
Xana's or room or.
Did you ever talk to him about his parents?
No.
Okay, so the night before it happened, were you here at the party?
I was not, no.
See, the other guy was a closer connection.
But you went to the formal?
No.
You didn't?
No.
So you didn't know about anything that happened here?
No. I got I was sitting at home, I got the Amber Alert.
Amber Alert.
I didn't even know where King Road was at first, and then I got a text from, and he said, "You hear what happened to Ethan and Xana?" And I said, "What?" And he's just, that was when I found out.
What did you think?
Initially I thought I got to get back up here because
Bubbly did.
I figured everybody would be, struggling. So
some people were saying they found her on social media pretty easy.
I've never experienced anything like this. I mean.
Plus, there's a memorial account that has all 4 of the victims, like as their profile picture on TikTok. And apparently in one of the TikToks, there's a picture of Kaylee with an Erika chick, and it matches the one that Bubbly found.
A lot of people have. I had no idea what to think.
When you found out that the 4 of them had been stabbed in the house that night, what did you think who did you think was responsible?
I had no idea. I had absolutely no clue.
Have you ever spent time over at that house?
I've been there one time.
never observed any conflicts or girls complaining about somebody?
I mean, I've seen stuff happens back there all the time. Like I've seen fights back on that road.
Amber
but
Vance's
nothing at
brother
that
is a
house.
vandal?
Okay, how about
I'll
the
ask her. We were
the
talking
drug
this morning
question?
on TikTok.
Do you know anything about Ethan using drugs or anybody
All
really
I knew
using
was
drugs?
Adderall.
Maybe that's how she.
Do you know where their source of that was?
With the,
I do not. I can't say
have
for
to ask
sure.
Sorry, just give me 1 second. Hey, Captain, I'm in an interview right now. Can I call you back?
Yes, you can.
I'll be done just in a few minutes.
Okay, thanks, Mike.
Thank you, bye. So again, can you think of anything that is unusual that's happened around here in the last year?
I mean,
You've been at another house.
Yeah.
I mean, has somebody gotten broken into, or
I mean, we got
Lots of that.
last year.
lots of that.
who did?
They broke in here and I messed with the trophies and stuff. I think.
So like another house
I was
turning
another
around.
house. Yeah. I can't think of anything that's happened back here. Besides
Yeah,
us
that is
getting
asked
busted into,
a lot.
That was it. Oh, we've had.
We probably should talk about that. Like, I haven't wanted to talk about that's the Mowich situation, right? The guy that like was in a car accident and then like died from his wounds, and like it's real sketchy and shit. Oh. Okay, I was like, huh? Okay. Yeah, we probably should talk about it just to like lay out the reasons why people are asking questions about it, because I do find it really interesting that they are asking about there being like a car accident recently or something like that. I do find that interesting. He's asking like all of them that question. He's asking all of them that question. And we know that we have a report on it, and I know there's other channels that have talked about it too. So eventually we're going to get to it. I do want to like lay it out and see how it all is connecting for people, because it is interesting.
Actually, it was at the start of last year.
Yeah.
We've had
Okay.
people have had laptops
Yeah, we'll talk about
stolen
it.
and stuff from around here. Like someone ripped his laptop from like the window outside the stairs. I forgot if people got their laptops taken as well.
When do you think that happened?
That was early. I feel like that was early last semester. Also, someone's car got busted into. I think car got busted into last year.
Lots of crime going on there.
But someone's car got busted into last year, and someone got laptops
Okay, good.
stolen.
And you guys have no
like,
idea
huh?
who did that?
We have no. I don't think they ever figured out who did that.
Did they break the window or just reach in?
I can't say for sure. I want to say I don't think they broke his window.
Which
I
apartment?
don't think he
He's
broke the
in-
window.
Yeah.
Do you think that would know whose car got broken into?
Yeah, he'd know that. I thought it was his, but maybe I'm wrong.
Was Ethan here at the time in the house?
Oh yeah, that was early. I want to say either first semester or early second semester last year.
Were you and Ethan sharing the same apartment?
No.
Okay. Anything about Ethan that was unusual or stood out? Any event
Yeah,
that
all
happened
these
to him that
things,
he
but
ever
nothing
talked
happens in
about?
Moscow.
No. Nothing to me.
Hey
Okay.
there.
Anything else that we haven't talked
Well,
about?
good
that you think
afternoon
we
now.
should
It's
talk about?
12:30. It's almost over.
I don't think so.
Okay. I am going to stop the interview at 12:18.
Okay. So you know what I found interesting today? Me and Amber Vance have been discussing the book and the crazy shit on TikTok. I opened my messages from her today, and she said the Springfield 3 book that he's working on doesn't even come out till 2027. Because she apparently was really, really, really invested in the Springfield 3 case before the Idaho situation, I guess. I don't know anything about the Springfield 3, so I don't know if it took place before the Idaho case or what's going on with that. I have no clue. I probably will look a little bit more into it just so I can get like a little bit of an idea about what's going on with it. But she was apparently really invested into that case. So she was telling me that she wants to go ahead and get that book from him so that she can not only compare what he's saying in the Idaho case based on the facts that we have, but she also wants to see what he's saying compared to what she already knows to be factual, the Springfield 3 case. But listen to this shit, and I didn't even think to look it up. Talking too fast. Oh my God, calm down. So you'll know how in the interviews that he's done, and I think he even mentions it in the preview of the book, he says something about how he was deep into writing the Springfield 3 book when his FBI colleague that worked for the defense came up to him before the plea, and said that he wanted him to look at evidence and see what was going on. And then that he was just like, not a big deal, especially after there was like a plea. And then somehow something changed his mind. And now he's writing a book and he didn't have to, but here he is, blah, blah, whatever. Okay. Do y'all realize his Springfield 3 book does not come out until next year? In 2027. I didn't bother to look that up. I thought that he like already handled the Springfield 3 book because he said that he was deep into getting it done. Like he was like almost done. He'd been writing it for 2 years. He says this in the interviews. So he stopped writing that book that he was 2 years deep into to in 10 months put together this thing that he has. First, I just find that weird, especially since it's really obvious he hasn't taken a lot of time on this case. The thing about Xana's blood being on the side of the table, and I mean, that's just like a glaring, ridiculous thing to me because we see the proof of that being amended. And it's like he thought that we wouldn't know that it's wrong. And what he's counting on is for the majority of people that buys that damn book that are not out here paying attention and pulling documents and reading forensic reports. He knows that 85%, if not 90, if higher, of the people that read that book are not going to know that that report is even out there to be read by the public for free, to know that it's wrong. He's counting on that. So to know that he was working on that one for 2 years and just stopped doing anything with it to write this hastily as shit to get information like that wrong is crazy to me. That's like a little bit of a red flag to me. That's like a little bit of a red flag. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand his presence here. You can't trust him. He's ex-FBI. He's ex-FBI. Anybody who is ex-FBI, you cannot trust their intentions. You don't know what they're doing. You don't know why they're doing it. And like, it's one thing to like write a book because you actually give a shit about the whole thing. But the way that he sits there and says stuff like, who cares? Or what does it matter? Well, why did you write it, sir? You are the most confusing human being I think I've ever dealt with in my entire life. And that says a lot. Like, what? I will not be even in that damn chat, bro. Plus, I don't subscribe or watch that channel unless I absolutely positively have to. So I'm not subscribing to chat. I'm not chatting, period. I don't want people to even know I'm in there watching. Because I have my Gypsy Rose live tonight at 5:15, and I don't know how long we're going to go. It might actually probably be, I mean, I highly doubt we're going to go 3 hours. I don't know. I can talk some shit about gyp shit. Like, I can go. Oh, you know what's crazy? So yesterday I checked like the backlog analytics for like my Gypsy Rose live just to make sure like everything was on there right and everything was good to go. And there was a dislike on it. It hadn't even started yet. Like, what the shit? So I go into the chat and I'm like, a dislike, and it hasn't even started. Gyp shit, is that you? And within an hour and a half, it was gone. The dislike was gone. So I don't know if that means it was actually her or not, or if whoever actually that it was just surprised that I even noticed. I was like, Gyp shit, is that you? And then it was gone. It was gone. But yeah, we're gonna definitely yeah, it's just a lot. I was like, damn. I left it in the chat too because it was there, bro. Like, and I know that she's like shady as shifty as shit. There has been, and we'll probably talk about it tonight. I'll probably play like a couple of pieces of Conspiracies video about it. There is like messages that were found of Gypsy, and they're like, it's voice messages. And it's her and her freaking little minions over there talking about how they're going to take people down. They're trying to get rid of Into the Weeds. They're saying that Becca Scoops is probably too smart to fall for like the bait that they want to put out there, like the false bullshit that they want to put out there to try to bait people into playing her content so that she can strike them. Like this little conniving little shit is just out there just like running her mouth. And the funny part, and like y'all will totally get it. The funny part is that I sit here and I'm listening to them discuss all these creators and how much they hate them and they want to take them down. And I'm like, I know there's so many Discord boards that I'm the topic of this conversation. And I just started busting out laughing because I think it's so funny. I think it's so funny. For this Idaho case, I know that people get together and powwow about what they could do for me to take me out. I know that they do. Get over it, bro. Shit's funny. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get off of here. I will see you guys later on tonight. I will be listening to the thingy-mabobber tonight. I just will not be present where you will know that I am there. But I will be there recording and taking notes, and then we'll talk about it later. But I'm going to go ahead and get off of here now. Thank you so much for being in here with me and listening to this. You know what? I don't know who this, I don't really know who that guy is. I have no idea. But I was looking at like the list of hyped videos because there's a way that you can see like who has the most hyped. And you know that his video, the last one that he did about her, was like number 5 on the list of all YouTube of like the hype numbers. That tells you right there that people are so done with chip shit, bro. So done with her. Oh my God. I can't stand her. Cannot stand her. Thank you so much again for joining Critically Curious and Polar Life Force. Oh, and Opalite R80. I missed this one. Thank you so much for joining. And again, for the gifted memberships, Friendly Girl, don't forget our members only live is tomorrow. We will do it a little bit early. I'll schedule it for like 4:15. I'll go ahead and get everything together that we're going to talk about. We're probably going to do something about Dr. Turvey because my curiosity is piqued when it comes to him. I know that he's supposed to be talking to the custody queens here soon. I'll be listening in the background of that one too, taking notes, and then we'll talk about it. I can't really dispute anything that he says because he's an actual expert that touched the stuff in the case. So it's just going to be like, he said this and that's crazy. And he said this and that's crazy too. And like, I mean, what else? I can't dispute that. It's not this Chris guy that's an author claiming to have gotten information and we can't really prove that he's actually even touched anything. Turvey's name is on stuff. So it's going to be so different because I can't argue. There's nothing I can say that he's wrong about when he's actually seen shit. You know what I mean? So I really just want to hear what he has to say, and I hope that he actually does talk to them. Yeah, even though the whole situation, I hope that he does come out and do an interview with somebody who's going to be able to maybe lay out a little bit of something. Because again, Elisa Massoth and Ann Taylor, yeah, whatever. Them talking behind a confidentiality agreement yesterday about the case is crazy. Because like all the answers that we've been asking for were literally just put out into the universe yesterday, and we're not allowed to hear a damn one. I just don't understand how they're still under some sort of like shh at this point. You know what I mean? It's really crazy. Really crazy. Again, thank you so much for being here with me today. You guys have a good afternoon. I will see you guys in a little while. I'm going to go ahead and roll this out. Please do not forget to leave a like on your way out and subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. All right, you guys. See y'all.